high school, but when you come to college, you're living in college. And also, like, my family back in Dominican Republic, they don't have dorms over there. Of course, they have colleges, but don't have dorms. So when my mom was telling them, like, yeah, she's staying at the dorm, she's sleeping there, they're like, sleeping there? What do you mean by sleeping there? What is she doing sleeping there? You kick her out? Like, that's what they thought it was. And I was like, no, she didn't kick me out. Like, here in America, like, we actually have that where you get to stay at the school in order to be, like, part of the community and all that. So then that's like a huge decision. Like, oh, you're leaving your family like that? I'm like, no, I'm not leaving them. It's just like, it's college. And that's how I'm going to be doing it from now on.
Yeah. And anything that's been challenging about the transition? I guess making sure you've got time for yourself is what you said.
Pretty much that. And not seeing my family as much sometimes. Like, I see them on Sundays and Saturdays.
Okay.
But, like...
Do you go home most weekends? Or?
Yeah, I go home, like, after this, I go home because... I don't know, I like being home, but I just, I don't know, it's mostly that, like, not seeing them as much as every day. My mom, she'll, like, text me every morning, like, hey, how are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah.
So, like, that's something that I've missed. Like, at nighttime, because when I came out of work, I would come out of work at 10, and my mom and dad would stay up until I got home, just in case. So when I got home inside the house, I would always go knock on the door and open the door and hang out with them for, like, 10 minutes every night. Yeah. Just, like, a little, like, how are you? Like, how was your day? Type of thing. And then after, they'll kick me out. They're like, okay, we're going to work. We work in the morning, so bye. Yeah. So then they'll kick me out really quick. But other than that, I just really like the fact that, like, I would go in the room and it'll be fine. Like, I would have funny conversations with them. I'll tell them about my day. We were really close. And then coming here, it's just like we have to text each other that. I just hate doing that.
Yeah. Do you miss your siblings at all?
No. They're really annoying. So, I mean, I love my siblings, but, like, they're okay. And they text me and they FaceTime me a lot. Except in class. Oh, my God. Yesterday, my little brother, he's just, Jesus. Oh, no. He's 8, and he used my little sister, has an iPhone now. And I guess he took her phone. I don't know what happened, but he kept calling me in my class. And I was like, I thought something bad was happening. So, like, I left. And I was like, what's going on? Hi, Nani. That's what they call me. That's my nickname in my household. It's Nani. And so they're like, hi, Nani. Oh, I missed you. And I was like, I hung up. I was like, okay, you're annoying. Why do you do that? And then he texted me. He's like, you're so mean. And I was like, I'm in class, child. What are you doing? You're calling me right now. I don't understand. What are you doing? And what time was that? That's so sketchy.
Right, should she be in school?
Yeah, they were supposed to be in school. He probably was in school in, like, I don't know what, because they go to the same school. And because the Charter Academy takes kids from, like, 4th grade to, like, 8th grade. It's something weird. I don't know how that works. Yeah. But, like, they always see each other in the hallways. So I'm guessing that he probably took her phone during lunchtime. I don't know. I seen kids. So I know he was at school. I hope it was in class. I'm about to investigate. Yeah, that was really, really sketchy. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what time was that?
You're like, I'm in class. He's like, me too.
Yeah, me too. I'd have been like, oh, great. What are you doing? But that's pretty much it. Like, I do miss my siblings a lot.
Yeah. I know, it's always scary when you get, like, multiple calls from a family member right after the other, and you're like, oh, God,
and
what
then,
does
like,
this mean?
he kept sending me, I don't know how to, like, say it, but, like, you know, on iPhone, when you can, like, send a photo, like, you could draw a photo and send it?
Yeah.
He kept doing that, but repeatedly. It was, like, millions and millions of hearts. And, like, all you hear is my phone. And I looked at my phone, and it was 15 messages. The same picture, over and over again. I was like, what is going on? And he sent, like, all the emojis on the phone. Like, he sent me so many emojis, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then at the end, he wrote, love you. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Oh, geez. There's so much sometimes to handle.
Yeah. It sounds like what an 8-year-old would do. They get their hands on an iPhone.
Yeah, really much. And yeah, no.
And have you gotten, either from SBA or before you came here, guidance counselor, your trio person, and in high school, any specific advice about, like, stuff you should do to succeed in college? Like, these are the things you gotta do.
Yeah, Ivan, he made a checklist for me. And he's like, make sure that you are doing this. Make sure you're on top of your work. Like, he knows about my mental health issues, so he always checks up on me, like, oh, how are you doing today? How are you doing this week? So, like, he's always checking up on me to make sure I'm on my stuff. And then he'll make sure that, do you have an exam tomorrow? So, like, it's also having, like, I feel like sometimes, like, Ivan's, like, a little parent to me. Like, I feel like I see him as, like, a father material also, because I had him in the summer, and he knew how I was in the summer. We also speak, we were both Hispanic, So I speak Spanish to him. Like, I feel comfortable, and we're like, well, I'll be like hanging out, and I'm just like, okay. Like, it's nice to have somebody like just there in the school that I can go to whenever I have a problem.
Yeah.
So then he makes sure that I'm always on check. Like, I'm doing everything I need to do.
Nice. And do you do those things? Do you feel like?
Yeah, I definitely do, because he's like, why didn't you do it? He's very strict. Also, him and my parents know him too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, he's strict with me, kind of, in a way. Like, he'll be like, why didn't you do it? And I'm like, I did do it. And he's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, okay.
How do you know?
How do you know? No, he's just very nice to me, though. So then I like that.
And do you appreciate that kind of, like, seems like the curfew kind of strictness was like, kind of felt like too much, but is his strictness, like, do you think it's the right
Yeah,
kind?
it's the right, like, it was the right good, because, like, because I feel like if you're not strict on me, then I'm not going to take it, like, serious, and he knows that, too, because he also has a kid, like, my age, and he knows that, like, that I know how to be with the kid, like, this is easy to me. So, like, he's like, okay, just knowing that he's, like, strict on me, like, I'm like, okay, he somewhat cares, like, okay, he cares that I want to be successful in school, like, you know, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And I know you were in TRIO in high school and then SB, but what do you think, what are the goals of TRIO here at college? What are they trying to do?
They make sure that you're always on track with your work, you're time oriented. They make sure that you are passing. Definitely, they always make sure you are passing. They make sure that you know what classes you are taking. They make sure you know what classes you want to take, what you need to take in order to get to the next step and to what you want to be. So that's what I like, the fact that, like, during registration day, I didn't go and I was just like, I don't know what classes I need. I didn't just pick any random class. They told me what classes I needed to take, and then I got to choose what classes I wanted to take out of the list, and I took them. So then just knowing the fact that, like, I know what I need, I know what I need to do, helped me out a lot.
Yeah. And why did you decide to work there? And what is your role in the office?
Well, the orientation starts next week. I just got the job, just, like, on Monday. But my team sends, like, a whole bunch of things, like doing emails, picking up phone calls, working in the office, doing errands. So, like, it's stuff that I like to do, and it's better than working at CVS.
Yeah.
Hate CVS.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, what's it like to work at CVS?
These 9 months have been very hard on me.
Yeah.
They just not, it's just not the store for me. It's definitely not. And then, like, I like my home store in Chelsea, because there wasn't a lot of people that came in. So it was, like, very open. It was, like, a little nice pharmacy. And then I came here, and, like, all the college students come. There's lines from here to, like, all the way outside. It's so bad. And it's just, I was, like, those, last Tuesday when I was working there, because that last Tuesday was the last time I worked there, I was the only person in the cashier, and there was a line from where I was at to, like, where the candy, like, the back of the candy aisle. And then I kept calling for backup, and then nobody was coming up, and I was like, what type of store is this?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? So then that's, like, something I didn't like, and then they weren't really nice. So it's just, I felt uncomfortable. Like, once I felt uncomfortable in a place, I don't want to ever go back.
Totally.
So then I told Ivan, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to try to look for a new job and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, you don't have work study? I was like, no, I don't have work study. And then he did, like, investigation and found out I did have work study. I did not have work study.
Oh.
I never got an email. I never got, like, hey, you have work study.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you qualified for work study. And he's like, well, you need to find a job before Friday. And this was last week. It was, like, Wednesday. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, let me try to make some calls and see what I can do. And then he was like, my team said you can work with her. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And since they all know me, they were like, okay, we already know who this crazy child is. So, like, I went into her office on Friday because I had to pass in, like, my work and stuff. And she was like, we would just joke around, like, the whole time. And she's like, I hope you're not, like, this crazy. And I was like, I'm not crazy. She's like, she's the one that was making the jokes. So I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you associate the jokes. You let the jokes be. And I'm like, no, you made the jokes. I laughed. But no, I just love that she has, like, the same sassy attitude as me. So then I like that I can be like that with her.
Yeah.
So I'm very comfortable in that place.
Yeah. So you'll do, like, will you work in the office and do the emails and that kind of stuff?
Like, we're little interns, so.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
Yeah. And what are your impressions of the other folks who work in the office?
Oh, I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since I know them from the summer, they already knew who I was, because I was always in there
Yeah.
to do checkups, and I also needed a lot of help in the summer sometimes to, like, do like time, like to make sure that